Right then. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Paul and Carole's Live. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, hey. I know I haven't been drinking.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, dear. Anyway, lovely to see so many of you in the comments already, chatting amongst yourselves. So always great to see the community here. And we're very, very thankful for that, aren't we? Look at them all. Look at them all, Paulie.
Well, it's a good job, mate. It's a good job. There's plenty of sensible people in there. There's no hope for us.
Well, so Nick and Tracy already here, just with lots of lovely links for you at the top. So thank you for that. Nick's mentioned on our website. If you don't know, because lots of people just associate us with YouTube, don't they, Paulie? For those that are new to our lives, and those that you come back for more every week. But we do have a website, so don't forget about that. So if you are looking for any cruise information or travel information, then do check that out too. So thank you for sharing that, Nick. Appreciate that.
Paul and Carole love to travel.com.
Yes, and Paulie's been doing lots of work on there.
Today
he's learned more things, haven't you, about linking, and so his brain's totally frazzled, isn't it?
If you're the saying, making a rod for your own back, that's what I've done today. And I can't remember who it was, but a wise man said to me years ago, if somebody tries to teach you a new thing, that means more work. So just deny it. But foolishly, I've let this extra knowledge into my brain, so there's at least 5 groups that I won't remember the name of from the 80s.
Oh, for your next quiz.
Yeah, and it'd be your fault.
I'll take full responsibility. So let's have a look at the first questions, and we can say hi to everyone as we go through. So
I hope it's not an 80s.
Oh no, it's not. So Andy and Carla, so love to see you guys here. Question: looking back at your trip to Belfast, which is the place you visited, would you recommend the most? Well, for those that you don't know and don't follow our social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram. If you don't, so go there and follow us too, and Twitter. We just had the most fantastic weekend with Johnny and Will. Travel with Johnny and Will. If you don't know who they are, go and check them out. They're the most loveliest guys from Northern Ireland, obviously, Belfast. And we've just had the best weekend of just laughing and learning so much about Northern Ireland.
It was another mind developing, brain developing weekend.
It was.
Well, just what I like. I don't want to drink or do anything like that.
No, we didn't really, did we?
We had a couple of drinks.
Only a couple, but that was good.
But we
so
saw
what
some
was your
places
you visit?
I think the best place we visited was that first pub where I had that pint of Guinness. No, I would say, obviously,
well, there was four things.
There was 4 things,
didn't there?
There was 4 things.
You remember them all?
Yes, we did. We did the Black Cab tour of the Troubles in Ireland.
Yeah,
Falls Road, Shanklin Road, etc., seeing lots of murals. Hearing stories behind the stories, things that we never got to hear about in Britain.
Well, we remember it as kids growing up, don't you? We remember the Troubles, but we were obviously quite young then, and it was very interesting to see this very unbiased presentation, wasn't it, from the cab tour, and we found it fascinating.
So there was that. We did the Kremlin Road Jail.
Or Goal, as I call it.
It's jail. Still try to get across to her now that it's spelt G-A-O-L, but it's still pronounced jail.
I know.
That had the biggest surprise for me was one of his prisoners. Of course, I was very young. Was the Reverend Ian Paisley. But obviously that would have been through his political views back in the day, but many other political prisoners there as well. It's now been turned into a museum and a visitor centre, and it's also used for ghost tours. Whoa.
Yes.
So I'm going to take Carole back.
They've got a tunnel that goes right under the road that used to be to the courthouse, wasn't it? But the courthouse mysteriously was put on the market, wasn't it? And then it's had about 9 sort of suspicious fires.
When the courthouse was no longer being used, so the tunnel was blocked off. And then the building started to fall into disrepair. And then the council thought, well, rather than spend a load of dough on it, they thought, well, we'll let a property developer have it. And they actually sold it to a property developer for £1 on the proviso that they were going to do it up. But what this bloke thought he was going to do, being the sneaky monkey, was he was going to knock it down and build something else there because that would be easier. but it's a grade 2 or whatever listed building, so you can't knock it down. You've got to make good what's there. So then bearing in mind there's nobody in this massive building, several mystery fires broke out, but the building was that well constructed, it hasn't affected any of the main externals. So eventually the council said to this bloke, well, I'm sorry, mate, you're obviously not going to do anything. So they took it back off him. Whether they had to give him his pound back, I don't know. But and now somebody else is taking on. They are going to redevelop it as a luxury hotel, but using the existing building.
Yeah, so that was interesting. We actually walked partially into the tunnel, didn't we? So that was very interesting. And the other thing we did was go to Ulster Folk Museum, which was going back to like 1910, wasn't it? Seeing how people lived. We had the most gorgeous lamb Irish stew, wasn't it? Lamb stew there, and looked around at obviously how people lived and their lifestyles and that. And that was really interesting. And then we did a Titanic. We didn't do the Titanic tour at the museum, the big new museum that's in Belfast, because we've done that before, which we can recommend because that was excellent. But what we did do was the Titanic distillery and Thompson graving dock tour, which we thought, oh, that's bizarre and interesting. When Johnny and Will said to us about it, we were like, okay. But actually, for me, I think this was the highlight, because we ended up descending 66 steps right into the bottom of the dock, and it was the last place that the dry dock, yeah.
Not the dock, because we'd have gone after about 5 steps. We'd have gone.
Yes, true. 66 steps down into the dry dock where the Titanic last had the propellers all fitted, wasn't it? So I should have uploaded a couple of photos for you there.
No banners.
Well, I've got one banner. Actually, I did, but I was just thinking that iconic photo with all the workmen with the propellers, wasn't it? And then we were stood in that exact spot. So if you have a look at here, I did put this one of us in the let's get that Andy and Carle's comment off there. So where's that? Oh dear. There it is. One in blue. So you can see here we were stood right where the Titanic last had some work done, and we all agreed that it was quite eerie, wasn't it? And it had the wall at the back which had the area. What was it called? That shuts off the water.
It's obviously the end that you can see is concrete at the other end.
Yeah.
And then the end that you can't see was made of metal. And it's taken on this sort of fascinating life now where the salt water has affected it over the years. But it's actually very
mosaic.
Beautiful. Now, I mean, what I'd like to do is show you a picture now, but
I know. I don't know how to upload those pictures. Maybe I can find them on here.
She's normally, I got a poster.
I know.
I got a poster.
Well, I got the picture here. So this was the iconic picture of, can you see, the guys all...
Why don't you turn it that way, and then it'll be 5 times bigger?
Oh, yeah. That's good. Oh, my God. See what's going on? So that's the iconic picture where they were putting the propellers, and that's where obviously we were stood, and the mosaic effect was just absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? But I'll find those in a minute. But so
for those of you who are new to this live, believe it or not, we've done about 95 lives. You'd have thought the first 10 minutes we'd never done one before.
So it had that sort of effect, didn't it? And there was a little bit of water seeping through, and we're thinking, oh my God, are we safe down there? Is it going to come in? But with the four of us, Johnny and Will and us, all thought that was absolutely interesting, wasn't it?
I took the surfboard just in case.
And then we went to the Titanic distillery, which is the starting brewing, distilling whiskey for the first time in Belfast for 90 years, aren't they? So, and under there, it was actually it's in the same building that has the pump house that pumped the water in and out of the dock. So it was really, really interesting, wasn't it? So we wanted to say thank you, Johnny.
It was more interesting than we just made it sound.
Yes. So if we only had one day in Belfast, I think we would definitely do the dock.
Especially if you like whiskey, because they let you try it at the end.
Yes, that's right. So that was very, very interesting. So we had a great time in Belfast. And like I say, Johnny and Will were just the consummate hosts, weren't they? And we're already planning a return visit because there's so much to do. We hardly seen the city centre, did we? So we need to go back and do more. So if you are heading to Belfast, then obviously Johnny and Will will be.
Johnny and Will's happy to take any of you.
No.
If you turn up, they'll give you a tour.
So thank you so much for asking about that, because it was a great. It was Andy and Carla's question, wasn't it? So about Belfast. So Nick and Tracy are also asking about Belfast. So hopefully that's answered the questions there. So let's see what questions we've got. Jim and Dwayne are here, so get those thumbs up for the most humbling, entertaining vlogs on YouTube. Oh, thank you very much.
What can I say? Jim and Dwayne,
yes,
you're a very, very good judge of character.
Talking about vlogs, for those of you that want to know, I've got some more banners here. We've got let's see, what am I doing with that again?
What are you doing?
What's going on tonight? So we've got.
She says she hasn't had a drink. Maybe she should.
I've not drink for a couple of weeks, haven't I? But we're going to have some on the weekend because we're going somewhere with the family the weekend, so that should be nice. So so you should, if you haven't seen, we talk all about a sea day on Holland America. So that's already out on our YouTube channel, and out on tomorrow is our next video, isn't it?
It is
all about our time in Greece. So make sure you check those out. So that cruise wasn't on Holland America, was absolutely fantastic. It was we talked about it from all the different ports on it. All had something completely different, didn't they? And something to offer. It was a fantastic itinerary. So do check those vlogs out. Anyway, let's go back to so people are all asking about.
Let's go back to the chat, is what Carol's saying, because she seemed to edit herself then. Right, let's go back to the.
Sorry, I do when I'm reading, don't I? So let's have a look. So
I'll see if I can finish her
sentences. So Andy and Carole said, we normally watch the BBC News. We'll get ready to watch the live. Within 2 minutes, I've had enough. Yeah, it's politics at the moment, isn't it?
Has there been something going on in America that I don't know about?
Apparently. So Jack is here. So hello, everyone. Made it to another live, ready for some fun and laughs. Excellent. People say they're not watching the news. They've had enough. Oh, Barbara's here. Barbara's been telling us on YouTube, she's one of our members, about the fantastic time she's had on Queen Anne. So I'm really, really pleased that you had an amazing time. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Thoroughly enjoyed the food, entertainment service, and can't wait to go on the 2026 Queen Victoria Patron Cruise. Yes, so we're in 2000. That's ours. So we've got some group cruises. One in May that's open to everyone, and then one in April of 2026 that's just for patrons and members only. And we're looking forward to that. And we're just in the process of planning our third.
So if you want to be part of this crazy journey with Paul and Carole, you need to join our Patreon.
Yes, exactly.
And then you can be part of it, or you'll be the first to know stuff. You'll get invited on Patreon cruises. You still have to pay for them. You get invited, all that sort of stuff, and lots of other extras as well.
Exactly.
And it's from as little as £1 a week.
It is.
What's not to love?
Barbara's saying Cunard is still like cruising with before COVID. Chocolate on the pillow, gown and slippers, room service all included. Yeah, Cunard haven't made too many cuts, have they, when it comes to your in-cabin services, like some of the cruise lines have. Let's have a look. So Love to Travel's here, saying hello from Gus and Teresa in a sunny but cool Ontario, Canada. Enjoying your latest Holland America cruise vlogs. We board the new Staten in early December to escape the cold. We'll have a fantastic time. Yes. We haven't done New Staten, but we've done Koningsdam, and that's exactly the same class of ship. So, and we went to Alaska. So if you want to check out what we got up to on there, then go and just Google Paul and Carole Koningsdam, Alaska, and it'll pop up. So Tina's just asking about the Princess Personalizer for our group cruise. Lots of people saying hello. Morris is asking about online port guides. Do you know, Morris, what I tend to do is just do a general search and then see what blog posts come up and see what port guides. What's in port's always a good one to start with, I think, because it gives you, it's a bit, their website looks a little bit dated, but it gives some I'm quite into facts and statistics, so it tends to do a bit of a list. So that would be my first. What about you, Pauline?
Yeah, I go what she said. What I do, I don't know if this is going to work for you, Morris, but I get up in the morning and there's it's like a sat nav thing, because I get the same voice when I'm in the car, but this voice tells me either where I need to drive, or if I'm on a cruise, it tells me what I'm going to be doing that day. And it seems to work really well, to be honest. I don't know whether you got access to that or not.
Anyway, so Ken goes cruising here, Ken and Lindsay, so lovely to see that. And Jim and Dwayne are just saying, just finished watching Drinks Vlog, your faces say it all with some. Yes, Lindsay and Ken were trying all the cocktails on Princess, so go and check that vlog out if you're a cocktail fan, or even if you're not.
I've been on a Princess cruise with Ken and Lindsay. Them trying all the drinks is nothing new.
Well, we'll be with them again in May, won't we? So that'll be awesome. So Stuart and Sherry here from Swansea. Alfie's here. Catherine say, good evening all. Hope you're all well. I'm counting to my next cruise as usual, it seems. Yes, you do more than we do. And Carrie and Mike are here from sunny North Carolina. So I guess Mike's there and Carrie's still in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. The home of grunge.
Ahoy from Ohio, says Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Lovely to see you here. Gosh, so many people. Let's see if we've got another question. So, travel with John here. Wee Poppy says she misses Paul and Morgan already. Let's just give a little bit of context here. When we went to Johnny and Will's, they've got two gorgeous little dogs.
They've got one gorgeous little dog and another dog called Poppy. I've in my life, I am a very, very dog. I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person.
Yeah, and dogs normally love Paul. It's me they tend to be a bit more.
I've never had an issue ever with a dog. The last time I had an issue with a dog, I got knocked over by a Labrador when I was about 7 years old and nearly broke my arm. But other than that, no issues. Johnny and Will's dog Poppy hate me with a passion. Like properly hate me.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it?
She's obviously had a bad time off a very handsome sort of George Clooney looking bloke with grey hair at some point in her life. Is all I think that's what it is. I think George Clooney might have kicked her once.
Do you reckon? Oh dear. Right. So let's have a look. Yeah, Ted K's have a nice days here. Yes, waiting for a plane. He's just been showing pictures on our Patreon where he was flying over San Juan. We were trying to spot the cruise ships, but we could only spot one. But it looked like one was not Celebrity, Carnival Celebration, which is the ship we've been on.
Yes.
So Barbara's asking about Oslo. Our first Oslo visit will be on our group cruise in May. So if anyone's got any answers for Barbara in the comments, then please help her out. Go on 10-day extras cruise on KD on 6 week. Is Port of Oslo cruise the city sites, or will there be a shuttle service? P&O sometimes do put shuttle service, but you never know, do you?
You never know. But if you could write that question down, Barbara, and ask it again in about 8 months.
Yes. And Elaine's here from the beautiful Sky Princess here. We can't wait to get back on in May on mine. So Elaine's gonna be with us to about 8:45, she said, and then she's off to have her dinner. So continue enjoying your cruise.
It's 8:45. How long is this going on?
Well, she's an hour difference. So
is it our 3-hour live tonight, huh?
Sue says love watching you two bright a very miserable November night. Well, thank you very much. Reese is here. Reese made us laugh in the week because if you watched our live last week, we were talking about how I don't mind Crocs, but Paul's not a Croc lover, are you? And you know what we mean by the Crocs, don't you? The shoes, the Crocs, not crocodiles.
I think Crocs, there's a time and a place for Crocs, but outside the house is not the place or the time. And I just look at people when they're going about their day-to-day life in the middle of town, and even when it's raining and they've got a pair of Crocs on, and I think, you have given up on life.
Anyway, Reece sent us a picture that he'd made with a logo on it with Paul and Carole. Yeah. We were going to show you this, but then we thought someone might look at it and think, oh my God, there's Carole got Paul and Carole.
I said if you show that, people will be asking where they can buy them. I know Reece will, but...
So anyway, let's have a look. So thank you for that, Reece. That did make us smile. So Mike and Carrie are asking, Carole, with Gary and others down in Antarctica right now, have you convinced Paul to book down there?
No.
I've been watching with great interest.
Because I've seen the prices, and it's a big no from me. Unless all them balls aligned, 6 of them in a row with all our numbers on, that's the only hope. Or I don't know what a kidney is fetching these days.
Anyway, so I would
not mine, by the way.
No. So yeah, I would love to do it one day, but it's very hard to justify the price. But we have been watching very closely because also Mark McDaniel, who's one of our members too, is on the same cruise, and he's been WhatsApping me a little snippets of videos too. So we've been watching it very close. It looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks
absolutely
amazing.
Fantastic, and it must be a once in a lifetime. But it is very hard to justify the price, isn't it? When that could get you. God, how many? You're looking a minimum £15,000 a person. That's doing it sort of cheaply. You're looking at £30,000 plus.
But if anybody's watching from Silver Seas, and they'd like a grey-haired man that dogs don't like
to go to Antarctica, then let us know. No. Ron said, I bought a cap at the Titanic Museum in Belfast. So we're on my transatlantic to keep the crew on their toes. It's fascinating, all that area. And like I said, when we were on a cruise that stopped in Belfast, we went to the main Titanic Museum, and it is definitely worth a visit. And all that Titanic Quarter now, there's like restaurants and there's cinema. It's really up and coming, isn't it? And it's a great blend of the really old buildings with the new, and obviously all the cranes, the H&W cranes, which stands for Holland and Wolf. No,
Harlan Wolf.
Harlan Wolf.
Harlan and Wolf, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Anyway, they were obviously the shipbuilders. You just made that up. Oh. So Mark's here, Marcus Sheila. So obviously you good. Please, you had a great time in Northern Ireland, the home of Pat Jennings and George Best. Yeah, the airport that we flew into was George Best Airport. Yeah. And we flew with EasyJet, and it was so easy, wasn't it? I don't know if every time we seem to sit on a short haul flight, we seem to get some sort of sleeping sickness. Because on a long haul flight, we don't sleep easy, but we got on the plane in Bristol, and it's a 55-minute flight to the George Best Airport in Belfast, and you could have gone like that, and we were both asleep. And then all of a sudden we heard, right, we're getting ready to land, and we were both awake, weren't we? It was very, maybe there's something in the air on EasyJet that just puts us to sleep.
But it got off to a good start, because I've been reading lots of horror stories about EasyJets and the likes, about this hoo-ha with your bag being too big. So I'm already, I'm a grumpy old sod, and I'm already sort of on the defensive, but we've measured everything and we know it's fine. And we had a checked bag, which was all fine as well. And then when you checked in, no sign of anybody asking you about this bag. You just crack on, you're thinking, yeah, I got away with this. And then when you actually go to the gate where you have to show your pass to get through that last bit, and then you get on the plane, all of a sudden, that's when it's like, oh, can I just see your bag? Yes. Well, can you just pop it in there? And there was two lads in front of us. One was like, oh, can you just put your bag in there? He had to put it in with his foot. And he pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. And he looked at it and said, is that okay? And they said, yeah, that's fine. And he had all of it by the handle, and he tried walking away, and he had the whole stand with the bag measuring thing and this big metal frame around it. He was dragging that across the...
We're like, I don't think that'll fit in the overhead.
So, of course, then we all start taking the mickey out of it. It's like, well, you can't... And I just thought of somebody who maybe was on a stag weekend, and that's the punishment. You have to take that with you all weekend. But he did eventually manage to get it out. And then the next bloke behind him, he'd have had to cut his bag into 3 to fit in there. And he just put it on top, and there was about 8 inches over both sides. And he just looked at her and said, that's no good, is it? No. And she was there waiting with the card machine.
Yeah. So, but that was funny, wasn't it?
They don't make it a secret. I did hear on social media that there was a lady that they made pay because she had one of those extending suitcases where you can pull a zip and it gets bigger. But she didn't have that open, and they still made her pay. Now, whether that's true or not, or whether it's just somebody seeking attention, I don't know. But she said that she was on Jeremy Vine talking about it. So either she was a big fibber, but if she was a big fibber, she backed it up with some big
For those of you who don't know, Jeremy Vine's a big sort of radio broadcaster in the UK. So, but yeah, that was so funny. But it was so easy. And going from Bristol for us is just easy because it's just down road, and it, so that was perfect. I'd like to do more. So Reese is asking, that's the next question. So Reese is asking, what is the best cabin you have stayed in?
Well, you waved to us, Reese, when we was in that cabin because we were on the balcony. You waved to us at the time because
that's the most expensive cabin we've been in. Was it the best?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We stayed in Neptune Suite on Collings Dam, Holland, America, and it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
What the cabin itself, but also the perks that came with it. I think one of my other favourite ones was Sky Princess at the aft. We had a lovely aft cabin. It was a deluxe balcony cabin on Sky Princess. Check out if you want to check out any of these videos. They're all on our YouTube, and I really liked that because the balcony was really big and the space in the cabin was good too, because princess cabins are known to be quite small, particularly on the royal class. So to get sort of a cabin to have a sofa in, you have to sort of go mini suite level, don't you? But yeah, they're the two.
And obviously, not forgetting,
jump in my head,
because you always think of something last minute. Not forgetting the obstructed ocean view on the CMV Marco Polo.
No, that definitely wasn't.
That's the
best.
only cabin we've ever stayed in that had a gradient.
Yeah, it was like.
And when you went from the door to the bedroom, it was to the beds. It was downhill.
It was. It was.
I thought I was going to have to get a knotted rope to get back up to the bathroom in the night.
Sean's made it. Yes, good to see you here. So let's have a look. So Dave said he did the hop on hop off bus in Belfast. Yeah, we've seen that. I think the advantage of having the we're doing the cab tour, and obviously it's more expensive because there's so many variations you could do these things. It's obviously a bit more personal, and we had quite a lot of banter. Well, he kept picking on me, didn't he? The cab driver. It was like, right, Carole, this is going to be another question. I'm like thinking, oh my god, why am I getting roasted? And you all were just laughing at me. But anyway, so hop on off. What's your point? So hop on off bus is a good option, but obviously with the black cab.
When Carole said he kept picking on me, he asked a question, and before he asked the question, he said, "Carole, I'm telling you now, don't try and answer this question because you make yourself look silly. So this is only for the boys." And he asked the question, and she blurted an answer straight out. And he said, "What did I tell you? Were you right?"
No. Right. So Ted's just saying, question, as Brits, did you feel more comfortable in Northern Ireland than in Republic of Ireland? Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make any difference. Everyone that we met and chatted to were just lovely, weren't they? The Irish are just really friendly, happy people, aren't they? Wherever you go, we didn't at any point feel anything.
I will say it's the first time we've ever, when we went to Belfast before, we only went to the Titanic Museum and we got back on the ship. So this is the first time that we've socialized, so to speak. But all the bars and restaurants and shops and the tours we went on, there was never even 1 second where I didn't feel that we were welcome.
No, exactly. It was lovely. So let's have a look. Gillian says she's there. It's been so interesting. It is a fascinating part of the world. So if you get the opportunity to go, we would definitely recommend. Leslie's asking, have you ever used the hair and beauty services on a cruise? We've used obviously spa facilities and thermal spas, but I've never had my hair done on a cruise. And I know our friends, obviously Jerry and Jill, Cruise and Canucks. Jill had her hair done once on a cruise, and she went straight back to the cabin and washed it. However, so you see people with lovely updos and stuff on Cunard that I think they've done at the.
They did her hair like she was a member of the royal court in France in about 1285. Yes. She looked like Louis XIV.
Grace is saying evening, Grace.
Evening, Grace.
Good to see you here, and hopefully I'm sure Paul is watching too. So that's great. David saying, think that dock is next to the SS Nomadic. It is. Yeah, it is just along there. Let's have a look. Kim was asking, what drink did you have over there? Well, Paul did try some Guinnesses, didn't you?
They had plenty. If I'd have wanted to cider all weekend, I could have. But I feel, and I did have this conversation with Johnny and Will, I do feel that if you're in Ireland, it's rude not to drink Guinness. But I will also say that years ago, people would say to me when I'd be drinking Guinness in England, and they say, "Oh, you wait till you drink it in Ireland. Oh, it's something else." And I've drank it in North and South, and I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I like Guinness anyway. So yeah. So I had a few. Well, I didn't have anything else on. I was just on the Guinness.
We didn't drink very much because we were busy doing stuff.
No, I did have a few Thatcher's Golds at Johnny and Will's because they made me, and it stopped me from crying when their dog kept being mean to me.
Well, and they've got a lovely little area that they've got. It's a Crown Grill. That's you don't have a specialty restaurant. In your house.
That's so big time, Johnny and Willow. They got their own specialty restaurant.
They have. What's the drink? The Canucks. So
they had some Crown Royal. Is that what we're trying to say?
Yes, now? Crown Royal bourbon, isn't it?
Well, it's not.
Is it bourbon?
No, it's a whiskey.
But you tried that.
I did.
Yes, you tried that because we sent Jerry and Jill.
I tried the hell out of it.
No, I didn't. So Nick and Tracy asking, what is the delivery time for clothing? It's normally 3 weeks. However, there are a couple of items that people have been asking for, particularly Royal Blue Hoodie. And there was one other thing that I've forgotten. That's Nico's having a bit of difficulty getting it timely. So if there are particular things you want, then make sure I can also ask Nicola if that's the case. But most things are coming in a timely manner. It's just some hoodies that have been a problem. Carole said you had no drinks in Belfast. No, I didn't. I was it wasn't that sort of weekend, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't sort of a drinky weekend, and I was quite happy. I quite like that Koppenberg, and I thought I'm going to try some non-alcoholic drinks. And one was the Koppenberg strawberry and something else, wasn't it?
Strawberry and lime.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. Otherwise, I had some Diet Cokes and things. So I was happy with that. We are away this weekend with the family, which I'm going to have some wines. But I'm actively trying to lose some weight. And I know if I drink alcohol, I have a drink and then I just pick, and then it's all downhill, isn't it?
You won't be able to pick on the weekend because outside of the restaurant.
No, I know, but it's just thinking of calories basically. Yeah. So I had a non-alcoholic cider, which probably had the same calories as.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, so Sean said he's taking bets to see what time the live will finish. I say 8:30.
Well, thanks for watching then. Good night. Didn't get no fireworks on it.
So no, we're not finishing yet. We've still got loads of questions.
That's it, we're done. Sean's lost his money.
Yeah. Antrim saying Antrim. David saying Antrim Coast Road is a mess next time we visit and Giant's Causeway. Yeah, we talked about that with Johnny and Will. So that's next on the list. Philippa says she's late as usual. But good to see you here nevertheless. Gillian's asking quite a valid question. What difference does it make to your trips when you go as the two of you or with others?
Well, if we go just the two of us, it's incredibly miserable for me because I can't get away from Carole. But if there's other people, I can hide and pretend that I was talking to him.
No.
It is different. It's a totally different experience, and it depends. Like when we went on Gary Bembridge's group cruise, where there was a lot of people, 60 or 70 or whatever it was. Some we knew, some we didn't. Because we didn't know people, and we were meeting, even though there were some of our Patreons, some of which are in the chat tonight, we didn't feel that. Like when you go with friends and family and you see them all the time, and especially if they haven't done a lot of cruising, you feel like you have to be in charge of everything. And we're going to meet here, and we're going to go and watch this, and we're going to eat this, etc., etc., etc. So even if you don't feel like doing something, you still feel you have to do it because you've got friends and family, especially if you invited them onto the cruise in the first place.
Yeah.
But when we went on Gary's cruise, it didn't feel like that at all because obviously we hadn't invited anybody on. When it's just the two of us, we do things differently because sometimes we might have an early night. We might have 2 early nights. We might not have any early nights. We just go with the flow.
Well, we tend to not party so much when we're just going on our own, do we? Because obviously you're with friends and having drinks and stuff. But we're when we do travel with people, we say, look, this is what we're going to do. You do whatever you want to do, but don't expect us to say, well, you're doing this, so we're going to do it as well. So I think the key to being able to travel with family and friends and groups is to be clear right from the start of your expectations, because otherwise it can get a little bit uncomfortable, can't it? So, well, you didn't come with us here and you didn't come with us there. It's like, well, we never promised that we would do that. Yeah. So I think it's just having the conversation and that transparency of being honest with your friends and family, saying, do you know what? This is what we're going to do. And most of the people we travel with are pretty easygoing anyway, aren't they? Well, if they're not, we don't travel with them. That's right. So you need to find the people that suit you best. So Hazel's just asking about some cabin reviews we did on Bullet with a single deck on deck 2. There's some solo offers in 2026. Would there be engine noise on deck 1? You will get more noise lower down, but it depends on where you are within the ship. Yeah. So it's very, very difficult to know. But lower down, the tendency, we always try to go for a cabin that's surrounded by cabins. And that way, the only noise you'll get is from other people, not from something that's going on the ship. Yeah. So Stuart's also asking, often see some sad people doing thumbs down on lives and videos. Do you get to see who they are? No, you don't.
Sadly not, because I think, to me, if somebody can put a mean comment, they have to put their name to it, even though it'd be a fake name and it'll be a cartoon picture or whatever. But I think a thumbs up, you should have anonymity. I said it first time. But if you're putting a thumbs down, I think you should have to, your name should come up. And you should have to give a reason in writing. I went too far, didn't I?
Do you know it's funny? Because we'll put a video out, and within 3 minutes, this video might be 30 minutes. Within 3 minutes, there'll be a thumbs down sometimes. But I think it's just some people just not nice people, aren't they? They don't even give it a chance. They just, anyone they see that's being, you know, that sounds a bit, that's doing okay, they like to put a dampeners on it, but we ignore it. So it's all interaction.
Them giving us a thumbs down gives their life a thumbs up. Because they're a bit of a meanie. They might be in a bad place. So unfortunately, it's like with a mean comment, somebody who's being cruel to you, they're probably in a dark place, and it makes them feel better about the job.
Yeah, it's sad, I think. So we just ignore it, and you can't change it. And thankfully, we get so many more thumbs up than we do thumbs down. It's a tiny percentage that we get a thumbs down. So that's just life.
But if calling us a fat old hoofer moose makes you feel better about yourself, you crack on.
Yes. Fraser, see this, Lucy Fraser says, like, really enjoyed Ireland. We did. It was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, so much better in Scotland, Fraser, honestly.
Sorry,
Sean.
Sorry, Sean. Yeah. Oh, you've upset.
Sorry, Elaine.
Yeah. See you and your man.
Love them both. We love them both.
Adrian's here from Barnsley, so that's sort of in the middle, isn't it?
Barnsley.
In the middle. Yeah. Morris said he's got his own version of the Sat-Nat voice as well.
Oh.
So Julie's asking a question. Evening, guys. When you went to Alaska on the cruise, did you need an ESTA for the US as well as one for Canada? Yes, we did. So Alaska is in, even if you're going from Vancouver, which we did, you're still traveling to the US. So you have to have an ESTA. Our ESTA runs out in January, actually, so we need to renew that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So it lasts 2 or 3 years.
I think it was 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think the Canadian one didn't.
Canadian ones last longer.
Forever.
So
and a day,
just get both, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
When we joined our tour, there was a couple of people. The tour guide said, everyone's got their ESTA on there, and there was 2 people that said, no, we haven't. We didn't know we needed one, and it was very clear from Titan Travel what you needed. So anyway, fair play to her. She sorted it out. But don't be in that position.
The one man said, I don't need an ESTA for the US because we're going to Alaska, and that's in Canada.
Yes. Some people don't get it that Alaska's America, you know.
Formerly Russia.
Well, whatever. Yeah. But, do you know, so it is, just check that small print. Or if in doubt about it, the first thing I ask Dan when we're booking something, that's Dan, our travel agent, is what visas will we need? And he'll say, well, A, B, and C. Yeah. And then we'll obviously double check. Well, not double check, because I'm not saying that Dan, but we always just check and check and check.
So we asked Dan, and then and then we double check because we can't trust him.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No, Dan always gives us the up to date because he's doing it all the time, isn't he? So that's really good. And in Carla saying, Barbara, that they had a shuttle in Oslo on Caribbean Princess, so that's very helpful. So thank you for that. Grace says she's gonna wear. Well done, Grace. Oh.
But I bet you, Grace, that your Crocs are really funky, and I bet they're sparkly and all bejazzled.
Yes, I'm sure Grace's are. So let's have a look. Other questions. Kim's asking about the best weather for a cruise. It depends in the world where you go, Kim. So because the weather changes all the time. Tina's asking, will you be doing anything special for when you have your 100th live? We're thinking about it because I didn't realise. I was looking the other day and I said to Paul, oh my gosh, we did this. Is this our 96th or our 95th? I need to have a look. So in about 4 weeks' time, then it will be our 100th live. How mad is that?
So it will be, hopefully, before Christmas. Maybe
Will it
we'll
be
do our
4 weeks' time?
Maybe we'll do our 100th live on Christmas Day.
No,
instead of the King's message.
So we'll obviously do something, but we don't know what.
Oh.
So
and it will involve Thatcher's Gold, I can tell you that.
Yes, it will. So lots of people given information about Oslo. It's walkable from where the ship docks, and the hop on, hop off bus is available. So, and Ken's saying as well that you can dock in 2 different places. One's next to the Opera House, and the other is the other side of the port. Both are very walkable. So thank you so much for that. There's a lot of people saying about Crocs. No, no, no. So Nick's on the no team. Alison as well. Tempted to say just ban them. Oh, socks and Crocs. Well, that's even worse, isn't it? Socks and Crocs.
What I don't get is my son, he's quite a fashionable guy. And I was somewhere with him, and then all these like 19, 20-year-old lads were walking around the gym in like sliders, I believe they called, with white socks on, pulled halfway up to their knees. And I thought, like, what the actual? And he's like, oh no, that's all the fashion. I said, what, to look like a knob?
No.
I couldn't believe it. And I said, if I'd walk around like that, you'd have disowned me. Oh, not if you do it now, it wouldn't.
Anyway.
So socks and sandals are back in.
They're apparently, but you're not having them.
No, I'm not.
No. Dick's here. So obviously Dick, he often doesn't get to our lives because he's all the way over in California. So thank you for that. Mandy's saying she's late. She's been doing with Virgin Media, lost the will to live. Yeah, we used to have it before we got BT back, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we just had problem after problem. So Sandra's here as well. So love to see Sandra all the way in Melbourne. And Carrie and Mike are saying that regarding Antarctica, we've seen BOGO fares, buy one, get one free fares, I guess that is, BOGO fares in the past. Hope to catch one in the future. Yeah, I remember when we were talking, weren't we, about Antarctica when we were on Celebrity Clips on Gary's group cruise. And we were saying this, it's just such a huge financial burden, isn't it? But yes, they're the cruises to watch. And if you can do last minute, which we can.
Oh, yeah. I'm
going to add it to my spreadsheet. I've started a spreadsheet of cruises I'm watching.
I'm not anti-Antarctica. Oh, that sounds like a really lovely, snuggly old aunt, Anna, that you go and see at Christmas. Anti-Antarctica. Like, she ought to be related to Paddington Bear. This will give you something to think about.
I love Paddington.
Hang on. So, if one come up at the right money, it's not like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Because I'd love to do it. Because when I see all the pictures of all the penguins and stuff like that, I think, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Going back to Paddington, there's a Paddington in near Belfast, and I've forgotten the name of the Newtownards, yes, that we've seen. And I didn't realise that they're putting new Paddingtons on benches where he's eating his marmalade sandwich. And I shared the picture on Facebook, and I got a huge reaction to it. So I then put another post on showing that Johnny and Will shared where they are all through the UK. Yeah. Sadly, there's none in Gloucester, but they are in lots of cities, and everyone's been sharing their Paddington pictures. So thank you all for doing that. Do you know, my favorite place at the moment is Facebook. We've got such a great community. Well, not my favorite place, one of my favorite places when it comes to social media.
What, better than like Bermuda? Or
no, but from a social media point of view, because social media can be a time suck, can it? When you go, Paul just scrolls there on TikTok all the time. With Facebook, I love it that we've got a really lovely community there, and everyone comments on our post. Not everyone, or gives us a thumbs up and shares them, and we get a lot of interaction there, don't we?
Yeah, not everyone, because it'd be hard to.
So thank you all for
7 billion comments on our.
So if you're not following us on Facebook, then make sure you do.
Yeah, why not? You're only 200 away from having 10,000 on our Facebook page. Did you know that?
It's less than that.
Well, I said it was 9,800 when I looked at it.
Yeah, but I think it's about 9.86. So we only need 120 more people to like our Facebook page.
What's your maths like? It's 9.86. We only need 120 people to make it 9.98.
Anyway, if you're not on there, if you're on Facebook, make sure you go over now to our Paul and Carole Loves to Travel page and click that like button.
In case you wonder, Carol's not in charge of our bookkeeping.
No. Do you know, maths is my worst subject. When I went to school, I did my maths. So I came away with 10 O levels, actually. So I'm not stupid, though sometimes. But my maths was my worst. The first time I took it, I got a D. And then I thought, right, I'm going to retake it. And I got an E. So I thought, I'm out. Me and maths are not having a relationship.
And then she took it again. She got an R. So she had a D, an E, and an R. Durr.
Oh, funny. Love to travel, say, in the Titanic Museum in Southampton's quite good also. Yes, never done that, have we?
No, we haven't.
Never done that.
No.
Dick saying, is UK accepting asylum requests from US citizens yet?
Oh, we're not getting
no,
we're not getting involved in any politics whatsoever, because this live could last 47 days.
Exactly. Hazel's saying it's Harland and Wolff shipbuilders in Belfast.
That's what I said, Harland and Wolff.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Sweet Nature here. So hi, Sweet Nature. Nice to see you. And Barbara's here as well. It's been a long time since I got to make a live, so lovely to see you here too. So let's have a look at what other questions we've got. How are we doing on time? We're doing good on time. So if you've got any questions, throw them in the comments there. So Joseph is just saying, Mike and Joey here. Love you guys. We went to Halifax on the Enchanted Princess last week and visited the Halifax Cemetery. All those 3 bodies recovered were buried. Very emotional. Yeah, Halifax is a great port. We did that on Celebrity Eclipse. We ended up meeting up with friends from Edinburgh,
we did.
And we had a great time. So we didn't get to see any sort of the historic things because we were busy chatting to them. But that was, but yeah, I definitely do a north.
Good pubs.
Yeah, we found some good pubs. But that New England cruise, I would definitely recommend. So,
Sean was saying
that was Ryanair, not EasyJet.
Well, I think the woman whose suitcase could be
bigger. Okay.
I don't know what they thought they were going to do, though. Did they think they were going to, once she was between sort of the boarding gate and the plane, was she going to sort of get some more stuff from somewhere to put in her suitcase? It's just like...
So, Manzana, have you been offered a freebie and been absolutely gutted to turn it down? To be honest, we have been offered a few when we've got other things booked, and we turned quite a lot down, and we only accept things that really align to what our channel has to offer. So it is disappointing when a company does approach us and say, look, we'd love to invite you on board. So yeah, it can be very, very frustrating.
I mean, there's people out there who would go to the opening of an envelope, but we find, like she said, well, it's got to be something that's really what we want to do and fits in.
Yeah, like our last one that we did, which was a press strip on Holland, America, Amsterdam. That just totally fitted, didn't it? And it was fabulous, and something we would book ourselves. You know,
and that's the thing. That's the benchmark.
And something that we think that our audience would gain of interest from it. So,
would you do this cruise if you had to pay for it? If the answer is no, then why do it when it's free? Because it's just then. Because there's still a ton of work involved, and nothing that is free is actually free.
No.
There's always,
because if you get invited on, for example, with the Holland America Amsterdam, then you sometimes get your flights included, you sometimes don't.
Yeah.
With Holland America, we got our flights included, but we did have to pay for 1 night in a hotel. So there's still, I know it doesn't sound a lot, but some of these city hotels aren't. So it's not always free. When we did Croatia, wasn't it? So Croatia, we had to do all our flights and things. So sometimes it's just the cruise only. So it depends, doesn't it? And it depends if you want to go to those places, like Paul said. So let's have a look. Well, David's getting ready to go away. Watch as we pack our suitcase for an early morning flight to Miami, going on Icon of the Seas for a week and Celebrity Ascent afterwards. Oh, wow. Hashtag excited. Well, I can see why you are, because that will be a fantastic trip. We've done that once, haven't we, back to back? We did Celebrity. I keep calling Celebrity.
We did Carnival Celebration.
Yes.
And we did Holland America.
New Amsterdam,
New Spout Funny.
And one was from Miami, one was from Fort Lauderdale, and it was brilliant because it was such a contrast. It was, but both very, very enjoyable. So have a fabulous time, David. Ken saying, do they sell Thatchers in Belfast?
Would you know, Ken? I didn't look. They must do, because I was drinking it at Johnny and Will's house. So they definitely sell it at the Offie. So Johnny and Will are in the chat, or anybody else from Northern Ireland could probably tell me. But you can definitely get it in the shop.
Well, I guess so, because Johnny and Will had it in the fridge.
That's what you said.
Is that what she said? Sorry, I was busy reading.
She like to say anything when she's reading.
Lots of people.
Yeah. Johnny and Will had some in the fridge, apparently.
So there's lots of people about Northern Ireland, about Kilcarney and Giant's Causeway, which she said, yes, we want to go back and do. So let's have a look. Kelly's on her first solo cruise in March, the transatlantic back to Southampton on Britannia. We'll enjoy that. Kelly said, any advice for a solo cruiser? Well, we haven't cruised solo, so it's difficult to know, but I would just say embrace. Just get yourself the program and embrace on going to things that you enjoy or perhaps you haven't tried before, and that would be a great way to meet people if you're traveling. That's what I would do if I was traveling solo, is just get to all the events that are happening on the program, and most people on cruises will chat to whoever you're sat next to in it, so just be chatty and enjoy it.
And remember, cast your mind back. I said when you're on a cruise and you go to the restaurant, have something that you wouldn't normally have. Go outside your comfort zone. How many of you have done that? And how many of you are planning to do it? Or how many of you think I'm a silly Billy?
Yes, true. Dave saying Celebrity Apex, a good ship for the fjords. Yes, I would go to the fjords on an Apex because they've got some really nice outside areas. I think Fjords Cruise is outside space that you want. If you haven't got a balcony cabin, you need somewhere where you can actually view the scenery. And they've got an awesome aft bar on the Apex. They've got some really nice sitting areas. We're all at the top, haven't they? So, where's that thumbs up come from? Oh, so give us a thumbs up. So that's lovely. So, yes, so definitely, I would definitely do a Fjords Cruise. And I would happily do it on an Apex on the Edge class because they are great ships. And Nick and Tracy have done quite a few on the Edge class and would agree with that. So Julie's asking, is it worth trying the specialty restaurants on Queen Mary 2 going in December for Xmas markets, but only for 4 days? If you're a real foodie and you want to try these specialty restaurants, I say yes. However, there's plenty to eat on 4 days without spending an extra penny.
I've been on Queen Mary 2 many times. What specialty restaurants is there?
Well, they've got the steakhouse,
which is the veranda.
I thought I read that as Queen Anne.
It's Queen Mary.
It's Queen Mary.
Yeah.
They've got the veranda.
And I can't think of what
they got the one in the. Oh my gosh! Is it just the veranda on Queen? I've got them blank. Do let us know in the comments. But if you're going 4 days on Queen Mary 2 and you're just in Britannia class, you've got the main dining room, you've got the buffet, haven't you? And you've got all the fabulous food in the Corinthia Lounge.
The pub.
And the pub.
And the pub for lunch.
So for me, that would tick all the boxes for a 4-night cruise. Ken saying, Paul and Carole, I think the issue with thumbs down is you don't know if they don't like the video or the subject matter. Yeah, you have no idea, do you? Which is... Lorna said, I'm resting the remote as my mean other half is trying to change my thumbs up to a thumbs down. Ooh! So let's start that. Nick saying, no, that you're superstar vloggers. Or wouldn't say that. But have you any long lost friends recognize you from YouTube and rekindle friendships that were once lost? No. We have had people that we know that have never talked to us about our YouTube channel, and then something comes up, oh yeah, I watched that video, and it's people that we know really well. I'm like, I didn't even know that you watched our videos. Oh yeah, I do, but they don't. It's not something our friends and family. No, my sister doesn't watch anything.
No. But even like the racing I do, I've been talking to people for years and years and years and years, and then one day it was like 3 different people started chatting to me about our YouTube videos, and they said, oh yeah, we watch all your stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. But they've never commented on it.
Yeah, because we don't know that people are watching. And we only know when you comment, and we love seeing people's comments. So if you do watch our video and you're able to comment, just leave us a comment just so that we know that you're there, because that's really, really helpful.
Yes. It's helpful to us and it's helpful to our channel. So
it is. It will help our channel grow.
Any little comments or big comments are very gratefully received.
Grace is saying she's got her Hello Kitty Crocs. Oh. And Nick said, can Grace be removed from the group cruise if Crocs are spotted? No, Grace will always be welcome. So, and Andy and Carole saying 100th live. I know, it's mad, isn't it? I just remember the first time we went live, I was so nervous. It was just, I was nervous about being in front of the camera, but more nervous about the tech side. And that's why now we use StreamYard for our streaming. It just cost, what, is it £30 a month?
It's just gone up to £30 a month.
But I'm happy with that because
and we can see all the comments.
Yes.
And everything works fine. And it's nice to look across at Carole and it's not like she's under a shower. Because
Sweating.
our early lives, it was just like running off her, like
I'd be worried.
Like she was being interrogated by the FBI.
But we're able to, pay for stream because of the support we get. So thank you so much for all our patrons and members for that, because that helps us do lots of things that we can do. So Claire's saying, I love a live on Christmas Day. It's always weird when here, so a live would be amazing. Oh,
we're actually at a friend's house for Christmas.
We are. We're at friends this year. So, and Gillian's saying, I'm happy for a Christmas Day live. Who could get them all to join in? No. So what's the story with Thatcher's gold? I could Google it, but believe your information will be more interesting. Do you know the history of Thatcher's gold?
I haven't got a story with Thatcher's gold. I've been drinking cider for many, many years. And I'm not quite as in cider country as Ken of Ken Goes Cruising fame, because he's in Somerset, which produces the best cider on the planet. But, however, Herefordshire, which is one of the next counties over, they've got a rich cider making tradition with Bulmers and what's the other one? Oh my god, I can't think of the
Woodpecker.
Well, yeah, there's lots of ciders made locally, and obviously just a bit further away is Thatcher's Gold. There's no story behind that. I just like cider, and Thatcher's Gold is my favourite.
We're catching up with Ken and Lindsay very soon, actually. But one of the things we want to do with them is to go to the Thatcher's cider factory, isn't it?
We do.
So, because I think that would be very interesting.
But I'm not driving that day.
No. So Michael's here asking us, what time of year did you do your Mekong on Armour Waterways? It was in February. Was it February?
It was February.
It was February. How much time did you have to see the sites? Is there anything you would like to change? We did our cruise actually went from Vietnam through to Cambodia. So we got off actually in Siem Reap, and then we had time. We literally didn't do the after cruise add-on. We did our own thing when we got to Siem Reap, so then it was up to us to organize all our Angkor Wat stuff, and that worked well, and everyone's organizing it there. So if you do your own thing when you get to Siem Reap, it's a very easy to do and not very expensive, is it?
Not very expensive. I would say if you're staying at any reasonable hotel in Siem Reap,
yes,
and you go to reception and you say, I'd love to go to Angkor Wat, could you arrange it?
Yeah,
you can do it as cheap as you can, which we did, and we went on like a tuk-tuk, which is like a glorified moped-y with a trailer
which was
great, and our hotel even did us a packed breakfast / lunch.
Yeah,
you could have a car that would take you. There's lots of different ways you can do it, but I'd be very surprised if a hotel you stayed at, unless it was like for £4 a night or something, they would be more than happy, because obviously they're going to make a few quid out of it. But it's very, very easy to organise.
There are tours every day, so there is a lot of walking, isn't there, on tours?
Yeah,
but there are tours that are for those that want less walking and those that want more walking, so more sort of exercise-driven type.
I think the thing as well is when we did the Mekong cruise, is like every day you're seeing a monastery or a temple type place. So when we got to Siem Reap, we obviously wanted to go to Angkor Wat. We went to, and I can't remember what it's called, but Carole might be able to tell me, but it's the one where what's her face?
Angelina Jolie.
What's the film called?
I can see her.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Where some of that was filmed. And we could have gone to another one after that, and our moped taxi man said, we're going to go to so-and-so now. I said, no, we're all right, mate. You can take us back to the hotel now. And he's like,
we've seen so many, haven't we?
We've seen so many.
But if you hadn't, and that was the start of your
you go there and you
holiday,
spend days doing it. But we spent a week, and we wanted to do Angkor Wat, and you've got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to go there. So
it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's
worth
definitely an experience.
So we started in Ho Chi Minh and ended in Siem Reap. But we definitely, Amur Waterways were fantastic, weren't they? We definitely recommend. So Paula's here from Canada. So hello, Paula. And Philippa's I got my maths GCSE when I was 46. Oh, I had to sit behind my daughter in the exam hall and she got a better grade. Fair play to you.
If you had a longer neck, Philippa, you'd have had the same grade.
Dick saying, we want to do a cruise from Rome to Bari, east side of Italy. Any experience with the Italian cruise lines? We've done MSC, which isn't our favourite, to be honest, Dick. We haven't done Costa yet, but so that's the only experience we've got. But there's lots of cruise lines that do all that from all that region, so you don't have to pick an Italian cruise line unless that's specifically what you want
to do.
Yeah.
But personally, myself, I wouldn't.
Well, it depends on the itinerary, doesn't it?
No, I mean, if
Sean says thought you loved Edinburgh. We do. See, look.
Sean. Don't you take it to heart.
Right. Do you have a holiday where you don't blog? Yes, we do. So when we're not cruising, our cruises we tend to blog. But if we're doing other things, we might just say like a city break. I might just do a room tour, but we don't do like Belfast. We didn't vlog. We thought we might.
So we did. We got a room tour. Because we stayed with Johnny and Will, so we've got a room tour of that coming out quite soon. So if you're looking forward to that one.
So there are, and this weekend we're off to Warner's. We didn't say, did we? We're off to Warner's, which is like a land-based cruise holiday. For those that don't know, it's a hotel company that have like stately homes and castles. So we're going there with Paul's family, Paul's dad and brother and sister and husband Paul. So the 6 of us are going for a weekend, and what they have is a lot of live entertainment, good food. We've had good food there in the past, and it's set in these lovely grounds where you can do archery or golf or whatever you want to do, isn't it? Or just go for some lovely walks around the countryside. So that's what we're up to this weekend, and we're really looking forward to spending time with family, and we won't be vlogging that. So so we sometimes do
Instagram stories. Maybe.
We always do social media, because if it's something of interest, I always think that's what our social media is about, isn't it? If we go somewhere, we like to show where we are, just so people can get ideas of what they can do themselves. Carrie Mike said they love getting escargot on cruises just to enjoy the amazing garlic butter. Yes.
Well, we didn't know that, did we?
We were all addicted to that, weren't we, on Celebrity Eclipse? I'm not fussed on eating escargot, but I will dip my bread in that garlic butter because it is absolutely fantastic. So trying different things. I have tried escargot, but I just don't like them.
I think he's trying to eat your own foot. If it had that garlic butter on it, it tastes nice, wouldn't it?
I like trying different foods on ships. There's life in the parks, and Lawrence is also something else to try if you don't like it. Exactly. Yeah. It's the perfect place, isn't it? Jackie said you did the thumbs up when you scratched your right shoulder. So Brad's here. Hey there. Had snails for the first time on P&O Pacific Sky back in 2004. Swimbo refused to join in. Oh, let me see you here, Brad. That's Brad's in Melbourne too. So thank you for joining. I've got some unearthly hour there, I guess, isn't it? Yeah, Elaine's off to Alfredo, so she's on Sky Princess at the moment.
Alfredo's is nice.
Yeah, Alfredo's lovely. Auntie G saying the veranda and the pop-up at the buffet, Bamboo Asian Italian is different every evening. Yeah, I knew that there was something else. I just couldn't think so thank you for that.
We didn't do the Asian on QM2, did we?
No, we didn't.
We've never done an Asian on QM2.
So let's have a look. What else have we got? Yes, everyone's saying enjoy Alfredo's, Elaine, and Alison, I've been seeing funny making a live, so thank you so much for coming. Let's have a look, see if we've got any more questions here. Sherry's just saying, Happy Stuart is normally the one who comments on your lives, and I'm a silent watcher, a rarity in this house, but I will make sure I leave a comment each time. Love your chats. Oh, thank you very much, Sherry. I really appreciate that. Or is it Kerry?
I think it's Kerry.
I'm not very good with names as Corinne. Well, I can say it right now. Look, Corinne, I can say it right.
I'm amazed Carole couldn't pronounce her own name. Carole.
Corinne.
Carole, your name, isn't it?
Carole.
Carole.
Lily Cider, Julie's saying, is my favourite now, especially passion fruit martini after Backer Beyond.
Well, I'm glad
bought 2 bottles in there. Yes, so Julie's been down to Backer Beyond campsite that we went early in the year. Near, where were we near? In Dorset.
Bournemouth way, was it?
No,
Dorset. Yeah, I'll stick with Dorset.
Dorset.
I don't know. It was the Backer Beyond.
But Lily Cider is very, very good. Right, let's have a look. Striker's asking, we are doing a forest cruise in late November next year. Is this rainy season? Well, it depends where you're going.
It's gonna rain the whole time you're there.
We've been to Thailand, southern Thailand, not northern Thailand, southern Thailand in late November, and we had water up to our ankles. That was the time we said we're never going back to Thailand in November. And then we changed it to going always late December and through to January. However, our friends were in the north of Thailand, or more northern, in Chiam, weren't they? And they were having beautiful weather. So if you think of Thailand, it's like, it looks like an elephant's head. So the further south you get in November is rainier. So there are areas that will get rain. Singapore just seems to be rainy all the time, doesn't it? Every time we go there, it seems to be drizzly, or you never get a really hot sunny day. Well, we haven't in Singapore, have we? I don't. It's always seemed a bit drizzly.
Okay, well, you can't remember.
So it depends on where you're going, and if you think of the geography of the Far East, it depends on because it's vast.
It's a big old place.
It's vast. Ted says Warner sounds very interesting. Yeah, we've done it about 3 or 4 times before now, haven't we? And it's just great for a family get together. I'm sure Sean will agree. He's just been to the one that's down by Bognor Regis, isn't it? And is it Sinai Warren?
Sinai Warren. And the beauty is you can go through their list of entertainment throughout the year, and they'll have genuine artists. They'll have like Michael Balls there, Alfie Bow, that sort of people, Sheridan Smith, and they also have a lot of really good tribute acts, and they also have just some sort of standardy run of the mill. They've usually got their own house band. They've got an entertainments team, but you'll find something that will interest you. But obviously, it's trying to find something. If there's a gang you go and that's going to interest all of you, I don't care, because I guess to spend a nice weekend with my dad and my brother and my sister.
We're really looking forward to it.
Not overly worried about the entertainment. There's a Neil Diamond and John Denver tribute. And like you said, they've got a house band which are usually of a good standard, and the food's usually really good.
Very, very good. So we're really looking forward to it. Barbara said it's 7 a.m. Of course, you've had your change, haven't you, in Australia as well? We've had our time change, so it's now a little bit. So it's 7 a.m. So that's a little bit more palatable. So Corinne saying I did, yes. She's very proud of me, aren't you, Corinne? Yes. So Christine's asking, off to the Arctic Circle and northern Norway, search for the Northern Lights. Our packing so far consists of winter woolers. Have you been this far north in winter?
We have.
We went in late October, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
and weirdly, we were at one place, and I can't remember what it was called, but Carole will tell you, where we got off and we had a little walk around this, like a little fishing village.
Honningsvag.
And we had t-shirts on.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
Yeah.
It was like,
So layers.
Yeah,
because obviously the ship will be lovely and warm, but the outside probably won't be. So just lots of layers. And we got just lots of people asking questions. What's been your last one then, shall we? Because Paulie wants to get off to watch the football. So love to see you here, Aoife. What has been your favourite restaurant on a cruise?
Well, I'm going to go for Carole Love.
Are you?
Yes. And the only reason I'm saying Carole Love, the top 2 for me are both Asian. Carole Love on Morella and Tamarind on Holland America. The first time we did Tamarind, it was absolutely spectacular. And the second time we did Tamarind, it was okay.
Yeah.
If we'd have done it the other way around, I don't know if I'd have gone back. But the fact that it was so good the first time, I did go back. I would go back. But every time we've done Carole Love and the menu's changed, I couldn't fault it at all.
I still go back to the one on Saga, that Nepalese restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Kukuri.
Yeah. I think that for me just blew a lot of the other. I mean, we've had so many fantastic meals on cruising, as you can see. Yeah. Anyway, so as you can see.
So now it's the proper thumbs up.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to see you all here. We are back next week, I believe, the same time, same day, aren't we? Because we've not got anything planned. Let me just double check for everyone there. I should have done this earlier.
Should have.
Yes, so I'm going to let you know when the 100th live is.
Yeah, and apologies to Sean because you lost your bet.
Upper State.
Yeah.
No. It's been lovely as always to yes. Yeah. We could keep going on and on.
Yeah.
So
well, stop it then.
Stop it.
Press the button.
Bye. Look, for now.
He's waving.
Bye.